Yes, man, Lee. What's happening, bro? Here, I was told you'd been to Switzerland. What's Switzerland like? I met a woman from Switzerland me last night in Alicante. You went for one night? Wow. So this lady that I met from Switzerland says, what does she say? Loads of things. She insisted that I join her YouTube channel. She insisted I join her Facebook group. And she's one of these not conspiracists, but in thinking too much into things that have gone on in her life. She gave a beautiful gift. I'll reach into me bag a minute and fish it out. And I'll fish out my tobacco. I fancy rolling a cigarette. Is that the right? That's the wrong packet. I think that's the right packet. Yeah. So there I was, sitting in my office on the streets in Alicante, and this very colourful, flamboyant, beautiful lady walks past, stops in front of us, stares at me, starts talking to me in English, says that she's homeless, but she's living in hostel, travelling around. She's been evicted, she's lost her job, she's lost all her possessions because her boyfriend got taken from her and put into some cult in Switzerland. And they're keeping him sedated and keeping him out of communications from her. For me, there's a lot going on for that lady. So she tried giving me monies, and I says, if you're homeless, if you've lost all your possessions, you can't really afford to be giving me dollars. Do you get me? So happy days, thank you very much. But she insisted and insisted and insisted. She wanted to give me €20, and no, please stop now. So she said, okay, I'll meet you halfway, and she gave me a tenner. All right. Then she sat and talked with us for a while, and just as she was leaving, she says, I have a gift for you. And a beautiful pendulum of St. Christopher. The last time I touched a St. Christopher was a gold chain that my grandmother gave me. I must have been about 10 when that when my grandmother gave me that St. Christopher. It got ripped off of me in a rugby game, or maybe rugby training. It was something to do with rugby. And I remember I got the biggest of beatings from my father. One of the biggest of beatings off my father, because I came home without that gold chain. He accused me of selling it. I mean, but anyways, so yeah, I try and maintain communications with that lady. It's been about 4 nights now since we walked away from Alicante. I can't seem to find myself leaving this town that we're at now. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a couple of parks like this end of the town, and you go down to that end of the town, and it's where it starts getting touristy and busy. Now, 10 years ago, when I was this ways with Scooby, I found a really nice cafeteria, and I found it this time around, but it's got different owners. Same name, different owners. Our first night here, I ate there. Our first morning here, I had my coffee and tostada there, and reached out to the owner. I didn't recognize him. There was something familiar about him. I didn't recognize him, and he don't recognize me. And it turns out that the person that I did recognize ain't working there no more. Now I remember her husband communicating with me and telling me that she was ill. So I wish her wellness. She hasn't worked at that restaurant for more than 4 years now. Pip Smoker, broke fishing. Wow, Lucifer's back in the chat. Long time no speak, Lucifer. How's it going? Yo, Spray. Now, if you're sharing messages from other people, Jeff, yes, brother. Nice to see you. What's up, man, Jeff? Jeff? I'm sitting basically in the same place as I was last night when I spoke to you, Jeff. Yep. The moon was shining through the trees there. The sky was covered in clouds. Yeah, like I said, a beautiful park. A stone's throw away from the sea. Yeah, wow. Now I like this park because it's not busy. There's that tiny little climbing frame and it don't get used. Now, something I wanted to tell you guys, yeah, is in the title. Visited by a ghost. A ghost of goodwill, or a spirit of goodwill. In actual fact, it's a person. I've not met the person. Now, before I go on to explaining what's happened, yeah, whenever I slept out with Captain Jack, he's no longer with us, to bless him. When I slept out with Captain Jack, whenever there was anything at all approaching, he would climb onto my belly and he would growl ever so softly. Yeah, whatever was coming probably wouldn't hear. Yeah, I very rarely heard him, but that growling would rumble through my stomach and all over my body, and I'd wake up. With Grizzles, people, my head is here. Last night when I was sleeping, or this morning when I fell asleep, my head was here. I was stretched out that ways. Yeah, somebody, yeah, has visited us between 5 o'clock in the morning and midday and delivered us a hamper bag. And that's what I'm eating now. Peaches from the hamper bag. There was home cooked meals in there. Tins of sardine, tins of mackerel, a bottle of water, tissue paper, Tupperwares full of home cooked meals, like I said, tin of baked beans, a coffee, tortillas, yeah, dates in another Tupperware container. You know, the coffee I'm not drinking. Yeah, I'm not drinking the coffee. Ugh. I tasted it, and it's got that Stevelina or whatever it is, stevia or whatever it's called, some freaking artificial sweeteners. It's vile. Just nice coffee, can taste the nice coffee, but the sweetener that's in there. Ugh. So here I am in a strange fucking town. Yeah, I've been here, what, 4 nights, I think. For 2 nights, I've not slept properly. The night before last, I think it was raining. Yeah, raining. The night before that, drinking a Fanta Lemon. About an hour before I went to bed. Stupid mistake. Stupid mistake. So up all night, tossing and turning, and then too warm to sleep. In the daytime. Now, scruffy as I am, falling apart as I am, I feel welcomed. No matter where I walk, I feel welcomed. No matter where I sleep, I'm assured by gestures like this, I am welcomed. So, for people with a negative perspective of my lifestyle, people with a point of view, or demands that I change my lifestyle to suit their needs. I mean, who are you for me to have disappointed you so much? Is a question. Yeah? Who are these people that are disappointed in me? Who are these people that have the authority to lie about me and to talk crap about myself? Let me see now. Should we go into them? Why give them time of day? They're not worthy. If they was worthy, they'd be stood here in front of me, putting me down. If I'm such a waste of air, if I'm such a waste of space, if I'm such a waste of their time or their fucking brain pattern, why the fuck haven't they put me down? Why haven't they stood in front of me and fucking murdered me? Yeah? If I'm so fucking wrong for their face, yeah, so wrong for their eyes, so wrong for their ears. I walk past thousands of people walk past me, and nobody's got fucking issue. When I come to this YouTube, a few chats that I still attend to, that's all that the people have got. No matter what adventures I've been on in the last 3.5 years that I've been interactive on this platform, these people are still scrutinizing me, calling me fucking lazy. Now, laziness. I don't understand laziness. Yeah? I'm not fucking lazy. I'm not bored. Yeah? I'm very active. Just because I haven't got that Christian Catholic, Protestant, 9 to 5. Yeah, just because I'm not paying into the bank or the tax system. Yeah, just because I haven't got a postcode. You know, these people say to me, I have to be the same as them. Now I'm telling these people, if you'd grown up with all the conspiracies that were being blown around in the age group and the time that I've been growing up, you'd be questioning the whole fucking meaning and purpose of life. And if you've been questioning the whole fucking meaning and the purposes of life, I'm pretty damn sure that you'd be making changes like I've made. Yeah? Fuck the law, fuck the system. It's out of date and it don't suit me. You get me? I don't watch movies. I've stopped listening to the fucking musics. Yeah? Now, here's a funny one. And I was reminded of it last night in Jeff's channel. Yeah? Wasn't Satan or Lucifer casted out of heaven? Wasn't he the angel of music and dance? They didn't have film back then. Yeah? They didn't have film and video back then, apparently. All right? But if he was the angel that got casted out of heaven, yeah? If he was the angel, the representative of music and dance, yeah? What sort of world we living in? Where everything has got a sound. Everything has got a rhythm. Everything. Every fucking thing. From trees and birds and stones to the fruits and the people. Every being has got that rhythm, a beat. Right? It's music. It's sound to something. So are we the creation of the devil, Satan, Lucifer, whatever label you want to give him? I says no. No, we're not. A lot of conspiracists who tell us the devil's taken over the earth. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Man has taken over the earth to the point that nothing else can be. The gold, the diamonds, they've taken millions of years to fucking to form. It's no longer safe in the ground. Man is dominating everything. You know, I was watching watched a little clip where they're suggesting in England you continue spraying your ground with vinegar to stop the ants and bugs. I mean, like, we need these bugs. They've got a purpose. A greater purpose than Nike. A greater purpose than BMW. A greater purpose than Palestine and Gaza and Israel and all that bullshit. Want to start waving fucking flags? Fuck off over there and wave your fucking flags there. In Spain, this is Spain. Wave your fucking Spanish flags in Spain. When I see any other flags blowing, I might rip them down. Because this ain't Palestine, this ain't Israel. And you bringing your wars to this ground, it's the work of the devil. That's people paying too much attention to the commercial world. And check this out. All these war-stricken countries, what's the real reason for the war? I tell you what it is. Minerals. Yeah? People have lost their minerals. And so they're seeking, yeah, what's under that ground. Yeah? Have a look at Afghanistan and Iraq and all those places. Yeah, wars that we've witnessed. You get me? Yeah. Have a look at what riches are in those grounds. Most of all, opium. Yeah, for all the smackheads. Whether it's pharmaceutical or streets. Smackheads. Go. Don't man. Greetings. I tell you why a lot of the British YouTubers talk lies about me. Most of them are smackheads. The ones in the circles that I was introduced to. Either reformed smackheads, junkies, pissheads, or practicing. Me being me, I didn't hold back when I said, "You're nothing but a smackhead, fuck off. You got no business talking to me. I wouldn't talk to you in fucking real life." Well, actually, do you know what? Let's talk in safety of social platforms. Yeah? Because in real life, I wouldn't give them people's time of day. Whether them pill poppers from the doctors or whether them street drugs. I wouldn't give junkies and pissheads time of day. Here on YouTube, we have that safety that we can communicate with people that we wouldn't normally communicate with. A lot of these British YouTubers despised me because I recognized they're a bunch of criminals. I'm promoting criminality. Yes, 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 Shiva, Nando. When you coming back to Spain? Now, here's a man that knows me from the hippie community. All right? Shiva, I've got people saying about me that I abused women in that hippie community. We've been through this for the last 3.5 years. Yeah, I never abused no women in that hippie community. I protected the women in that hippie community. Huh? Now, I remember when Shiva came back to the hippie community and I seen him there, and I was a little bit cautious and a little bit like rude and insulting towards him because the environment where he chose to settle. Eventually, Shiva came away from that environment and came and socialized with me, interacted with me. A lot of people felt safe in my company. Not because I had big bags of weed. That was one of the, incentives. Yeah. Not because I had a nice garden or I had that nice Mercedes bus that I recycled, that I was given. But because people actually felt safe in my company. I was real, I was straight up, and there was no crossing my fucking lines. If you was a junkie pisshead, if you was one of them woman abusers of that community, you weren't welcomed anywhere near my peoples. Nice one, Scottish and proud. Good to see yous. Keith Van Trill. Always a nice message from you, sir. Now, I've had two YouTubers well established within the communities of trolls, simps, fake narratives. I've had two within my company. Yeah? Both of them wanted me. Yeah? Both of them wanted my energy. Both of them. Both of them living from dark monies. One of them suing people to get $1 or $2. The other one living off dead people's inheritances, dead people's leftovers. I've always said, dark money will bring you no happiness. Dark money, keep it the fuck away from me. I don't need it. I don't want it. And I can show you quite clearly, I can survive without dollars. I ain't got no bank account. I've not had access to my PayPal since I left Ortiba. Yeah? There's about 400 euros in there. I offered it to somebody last night. Well, I positioned somebody. I said, dude, if you had been communicating with me for the last 2 weeks that I've been subscribed to you, I would have gladly sent you that 400 euros that I have built up in my PayPal. I would have sent it to you so you can get your teeth sorted, so you can get your e-scooter. Yeah? The fella's got smashed teeth, split down there, smashed nose. Yeah? And he's living in a hotel, claiming that he's homeless. And this is my main point. Yeah? I've tried seeking people in similar situations myself. Homeless people. Yeah? People that claim to be homeless. People that claim to be invisible to the rest of the world. And I've tried reaching out to many of them. There was Tony Pizza. There was fucking Homeless and Proud. And then there's this M for Money. I tried reaching out to many others, but those three come to mind. Tony Pizza needed $175 every day. $175 every day to stay in his motels, to buy his food, to pay for his fucking travels, and all that shit. I'm not sure whether it was because I was associated with the mob troop that he put his defences up. But he never had a conversation with me. So eventually I fucked him off. The Homeless and Proud, I recognised he was a pure scum, pure cheat, pure scammer. I recognised that his story wasn't real. Yeah, he was a fake. And now this M means for money. Yeah. He's another one like Tony Pizza, living in hotels, expecting us as viewers to pay for his existence. Now check this out. For 2 weeks that I've been subscribed to him, and I try and chat with him in his chat every day that I'm in his chat, he's never had anything to say to me. Nothing ever has he had to say to me. Until I made the Mugsy Seagal M. Nice one. Until I mentioned the 400 is sat there in the PayPal, waiting to be dispersed or dispatched or collected, whichever comes first. Anybody that knows me, my mate in Bristol, a couple of weeks ago, skint. I sent him a 50 from PayPal to his bank account. Other people that I've noticed, they're waiting for their PIP or their gyro, their social benefits or payday to come through. If I've heard them saying, like they're fucking, they want to have a drink, they're hungry, I'm one of the first to fucking throw a dollar or two in their direction. And I've never asked for anything back. I've always said, excuse me, what comes to me, is to be, shared. Yeah, people are sharing with me, and I've upset people's because people are like, Steve, yeah, you've got fuck all, you ain't got a pot to piss in. What the fuck are you doing sharing with other people's? Yeah. If people are sharing with me, I can only balance it out by sharing with other people's. Yeah. And if that's offended people's, well, then maybe you shouldn't be sharing with me. Yeah, I'm a people person. Yeah, I'll give people benefits of the doubt. John Tracy, good to see you. Always spot the fakes, sir. They stand out like a fucking neon light, you get me? Yeah, you don't need a fucking strobe light. Yeah, saying I'm a fraud, I'm a fake. You get me? Yeah, we don't. Yeah, and as much as these people keep trying to say Steve's on the run, Steve's running from the police, Steve's running from prison sentences. Steve's kicked out of Ireland. Steve's kicked out of England. Many times I said, if I wasn't caring for these dogs, I would gladly spend 50 quid, get on that airplane and show you motherfuckers I'm welcomed wherever I go. And if I turn up at your fucking doorstep, it's the last thing you'll be fucking seeing. So you don't really want to be upsetting me too much, alright? Because one day, this golden ball, potentially, I'm here to outlive him. And then I'll have my freedom. I'm not one of these gossipers that'll broadcast on YouTube that I'm coming to your doorstep. I just arrived to your doorstep. Alright? I'm not looking for clout. Yeah? I'm not looking to be a celebrity. Yeah? I'm not looking for, like, we can get him arrested. If I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna do it with 110% certainty that I'll walk to the police station after the job is done. I won't be collected before the job is done. I'll arrive to somebody and I'll say, for example, TNK, you've talked shit about me and a lot of other peoples, and you're the biggest of scumbags on this platform. You're one of the biggest of spanner slags. You've been pimping out Amanda for fucking how many years? Yeah, you're part of a fucking cult. You tried labeling me as creating a cult. You bullied anybody that came to me chat, and you even tried bullying this whole fucking channel. Now, TNK, while we're on about you, 3 years ago, Zara B was outed as a porn bomber, and you all hated her. And you all tarnished me and labeled me for enabling a porn bomber because I gave Zara B time of day. I wanted to find out from Zara B for myself, not by listening to a bunch of sniveling rats too scared to fucking lift a finger. Yeah, I wanted to find out for myself who and what Zara B was. I found out for myself the day Zara B porn bombed me. Okay, and that's the last time I spoke with fucking Zara B on the manner of, all right, mate. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, after 3.5 years of TNK putting the law down that if you have Zara B in your chat, your channel's fucked. Well, look at the TNK now, giving Zara B all the time of the day. Yeah? All the time of the day. And it's a prime example of how people will make friends with other people's enemies. If me and you fell out today, chances are my enemies would reach out to you, and your enemies would reach out to me. That's how social media is. It's double standards, and it ain't no good. TNK yesterday was asking grown men their thoughts on shagging 16-year-old kids. That was TNK yesterday. I was listening to him on Joey Bobo's. I think Joey Bobo was playing a live that TNK had deleted. Yeah, because TNK is a coward. Yeah, he's a junkie supporter. He's an alcoholic supporter. A fake narrative supporter, and starts fake narratives. And I've got 3.5 years of proof about TNK. And is Amanda working as tag team to target channels, put the law down, who's good, who's bad, who's allowed in the community. Now, their community started during Corona, when they was all locked down. Yeah, they got bored of their movies, they got bored of their video games, they got bored of each other, they got bored of their children, they got bored of their families, and they started interacting and forming a cult, a gang, a militia within the social medias. That's coming from their own words of recent times. We've known each other for 5 years. We've been working together for 5 years to take down this channel, that channel, this person. All they've been doing is highlighting wrong-uns, putting the wrong-uns into a greater protection racket than ever before. Witness protection is nothing in comparison to YouTube. And these YouTubers, the TNK, the Spanner Slags, the milkshakers, sour milkshakers, them peoples have put so many people on the protection list that even if they was a wrong un, not even their own kids could do anything. After 3.5 years, finally, things that I saw from day one are coming to light about these individuals. And there's nothing any of them can do about it. This will have repercussions on their grandchildren, on their mothers' graves. This will have repercussions for generations to come. This is enough reason to start war. Yeah? You call yourself a king? You call yourself a fucking king? Beheaded the motherfucker. Simple as. You ain't no fucking king. You're a scumbag. You're too scared of going back to jail. That's what I recognize about a lot of them. They've been to jail for violence, for drugs, for fraud. And now they're too scared. And so they sit there in their gangs, talking shit, making lawsuits against people like me if I want to speak up about them. I ain't scared of going to jail, so I keep talking about them, or I start talking about them again. That's what they want. They want that fame. I give it to them. I give it to them worldwide. When they want to go on their summer holidays, the whole world will be expecting them. See, I've always been good at communicating with people. Hey, you chef. All right, brother. I've always, Purple Aki, top man. I recognized these gangs on YouTube. A lot of them don't have their super chat. A lot of them don't have their PayPal account. They don't need to. They're part of a syndicate. They're set up channels like Andrew J. Yeah, and tell Andrew J. 50% to you for your channel, and 50% goes straight over to OG Miss Emma. OG Miss Emma, being the accountant, will share that money out to TNK, YouTube Asylum, Sparky Shack, the people that don't put up their PayPal account. Yeah? The people that don't want to be considered a beg. Yeah? Now, they can call me a beg as much as they like, yeah? But we've just had coming into our chat the person that encouraged me to have a PayPal. The person that tried setting me up a PayPal, insisting that I had a PayPal. This person here. So, anyone want to call me a beg? Yeah? Speak to this person. You know? It's this person that insisted I needed a PayPal. Speak to Mermaid with the broken tail. Yeah? About why I have, what do you call it? an Amazon wish list. Incomplete. But, yeah, ask her. Because she insisted. I upset a lot of people because I didn't have an address, still don't, didn't have an account that they could pay into. I upset a lot of people because they couldn't encourage me financially, physically. I upset hundreds of people because I said, I don't want your charity. Go to the people out on the streets nearby you. Give to them. Yeah, I don't need. Yeah, I can make my day like I have done for more than 35 fucking years. Nearly 30 years, yeah, since I was first homeless, right? 31 years since I was first out on the streets, yeah, and a little bit more than that, maybe about yeah, 30, definitely 31 years of me being able to work, yeah, and earn a wage, a bigger wage than my father ever fucking seen, of legitimate monies. My father never received more than 2.5 grand every week for work, yeah, but I did, working on salmon boats, crab, lobster, and shrimp. I got more work experiences than anybody that I've spoken to on YouTube. So these motherfuckers to call me lazy or a beg. Travis, top man, long time no speaks. So, on a positive note, yeah, I'm still alive. I'm still in Spain. The police pulled us over yesterday because they wanted to see Grizzles' passport papers, yeah. And on his passport has got my name and my NIE. And these police done a computer check. They didn't arrest me. They didn't even look at me like I was dodgy. It's just there's a big dog in town, yeah, and they want to know, yeah, what the fuck is what, yeah, how the fuck this scruffy bastard has got such a rich dog, yeah. So on the run, yeah, on the run, yeah, running. I'm running things, like I said a long time ago. A lot of people need to do pinch themselves, you know, and make sure they're still alive. Because the lives that they be living doesn't seem to be real. So, anyone got any news in the chat? Anyone got any gossip in the chat? Anyone got any topics in the chat that they want to cover? Has anybody in the chat got anybody that they want outing? You know, we start a bit of shit stirring together. Yeah. Has anybody got any lies that they want to tell us? Does anybody want to doorstep me? You're more than welcomed. From Decca Eggy, Danny Christie, do you know, you send your artist, you know? What's his name? The fucking knife happy one. Fucking Darren G. Yeah? You know? Yeah? It's alright for him to have a life and a career in prison for knife happy. Yeah? But now he's telling everybody, put your knives down. Choose a life, not a knife. Fuck off. Choose a knife. Forget your life. Yeah? Something needs to be done about all these wrong-uns getting away with being promoted on these social platforms. Something needs to be done about these TNKs and these YouTube asylums and these sparky shacks for encouraging and enabling so many fucking wrong-uns, for keep talking about so many fucking wrong-uns. These people have got their voices. They're the ones that stamp down the fucking law. If you're associated with this person or that person, you're not coming to my chat. You're blocked. Oi, Amanda, block Steve. He's in my chat. Yeah? I don't go. I've never seen TNK's live. Yeah? Apart from when other people have been restreaming the con. I never liked him from day one. Because I recognize his fake narratives. Yeah? Because I recognize he's using women. Yeah? Like a lot of these YouTubers. You know? They're pimping out their women on these social platforms. The swinger parties. Is it good for their business of selling smack and crack? Like I ask them, yeah, you promote being a weed smoker. Where are you getting your weed from? The Albanians, the Chinese, the people that you're, you know, the dinghy divers? Because you're not growing it your fucking selves, are you? Do you get me? Huh? Most of them English fuckers, yeah, them's too paranoid to grow their own weed. They're too thick stupid to grow their own weed. They can't even afford the electricity to grow their own weed. They don't trust their own mothers to grow weed in their garden. They don't trust themselves or their neighbors to grow weed in their own garden. Or in a window box. Now imagine, it's every weed smoker had a window or a little bit of a garden and they just grew there. Yeah? What could the police do about it? What could the government do about it? I tell you what they'd do. They'd start spraying stuff in the air. Yeah? They'd kill your marijuana plants like they do with the magic mushrooms on the golf courses. Who's going out picking magic mushrooms this year? I kind of open that this M stands for money. I was kind of open that this online beg would come to this channel and introduce himself, but he hasn't. Yeah. So, like I said to him last night, I'll promote you. Yeah. I'll give you my trolls. I'll give you the people that encourage people like you. Yeah. And hopefully the IRS don't get onto him. With 17,000 subs, with 100, 200 people in his chat, with his super chat available, with his history of online gaming, him been scamming a lot of people. Now, as the message is frozen, that happens here a lot. If I move my phone, I tend to lose a lot of, yeah, my messages don't always come through. Now, flip, mute, hide, retouch, create, lighting, close. There is a thing here. Ah, yes, there it is. All messages. Ah, right. Chef, Kev, Elm, Skeeters in the house. Mr. Beautiful Blues. Yeah, Mr. Beautiful Blues. That sour milkshaker paid you a K to troll the people like me. Cheapskate bitch, isn't she? I mean, I wonder how much she pays Nathan to walk her chihuahuas. Oh, I'm just seeing these messages now. Yeah, them not come through. I'm in a fishing town now. Yeah, check out my scenery. Yeah, down that ways. Yeah, about 20 minutes. 20 minutes walking. There's a harbour, and it's filled up with fishing boats. And I said to Grizzles, going back 100 years, we would have stepped straight onto one of them fishing boats and gone to work. You know, look, he's unattached. Yeah, he's got his freedom, and he chooses to lay next to me. These days, these days, you wouldn't even be able to step on that boat, let alone get out and work that boat. For the amount of time that I've seen that boat or those boats in the harbour, there's a lot of fish to be caught. There's a lot of people to be trafficked. There's a lot of fucking hashish and cocaine to be collected. And then boats are just sat there. What a waste. I seen that in Ireland. A lot of boats being just sat there, wasted. You know, wasting away. And it's upsetting. Because people like me, with no direction, I'd love to just, spontaneously do something. You got to have all these qualifications to get on these boats these days. Experience ain't valid. Willingness ain't a gift anymore. Yeah? Willingness. It doesn't matter how willing you are. There's laws. And it's like, ow, it's crippling generations and generations and generations. And who to hold responsible? The government? Nah, 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 nah. The royals? Nah. Epstein? P. Diddy? No, 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 no. Our grandparents and their grandparents, they're the ones that gave in to allowing the mines being closed, the fishing fleets being and harbours being corrupted, the restaurants being corrupted, the building industries being corrupted. Our generation, yeah, we're the lost it generation. You can call us Gen X or Gen Z or Gen B, whatever you want, yeah, but we're the lost it ones. We're the ones that have lost every opportunity of good life, unless you're going to be a wrong'un, yeah? If you're a wrong'un in any form of wrongness, yeah, you're going to live a happy fucking life. You're going to live a rich fucking life. If you're a career criminal, you've always got food in your belly. You've always got a roof over your head. You've always got people paying attention on you. And always you got people giving you support. If you're a junkie, there's so much support for junkies. Alcoholics, so much support for alcoholics. If you're a rapist or a pedophile, there's so much support, so much housing, so many people paying you attention, trying to, it's like the church. The church is forgiving of all those sinners. And folk like me, I'm not even welcomed in a church. Huh? Because I'm not of that religion. I'm not of that community. I'm not of that, that family. The hours that I want to go to church is fucking closed. Yeah? It's got opening and closing hours these days. Working on the fishing boats, best days of my life, my darling. Best, the fucking wow, the best of days. But you know what? Crashing a 110-foot trawler due to falling asleep at the wheel kind of drove me mad. Yeah, put something in my spirit, broke my spirit, put something there, blocked my spirit or something. Yeah, that I can't work on boats anymore. I tried. I did try. But I don't know. I changed career after that. I went into chefing, yeah, working in kitchens. Worked in various kitchens in about 4.5, 5 years. You know, mostly the a la carte menu. Uh, and in the same town as where I crashed the fucking trawler. You are the wind in my sails, Steve. The ladybird on my tomato plant. The cream in my coffee. The hair in my food. God bless you. I retired frequently from work. Wow. Wow, cool. Time to yourself. No more working for the bank. No more working for the taxman. Happy days, Kev. You know, Ellen, when I first came to YouTube, it was under an invitation. Yeah. An invitation of somebody that needed my help. Yeah. Or claimed the my situation in life, I could help the person. This person sold themselves as being a good Samaritan, being victimized. The truth is, that person creates the victims. Yeah? And when I finally met that person, it was, yeah, he's moving in. I made months of gestures. Come on, come and visit. Yeah, come and get to know me first. Come and check out the area first. When the person made all the deadlines, made all the promises, I held him to his word. And because he broke his promises, broke his the arrangements, went against the arrangements that he suggested and he made and he promised, I showed him, you'll stick to your fucking word. Yeah? A real man is a man of his word. And if you say something to somebody that you're gonna do something, you should have it fucking done. Yeah? You should have it done. Alright? And now, from that, I became a murderer, human trafficker, and this is how that person promoted me throughout social medias. The only things that I've murdered are fish, goats, rabbits, chickens, pigs, ants, wasps, flies, mosquitoes, you know, flowers. Yeah, I've murdered loads of joints, but never a person. Yet. But you know, I'm still young enough. I'm still physically capable enough for the right situation. I don't think it's in my nature. But if I ever had to, I wouldn't go running. No, I'd do it loud and proud and claim it. Yeah, I fucking did this because he's a fucking wrong un. Yeah, because he created too many fucking victims. Yeah. The outdoor, right? Outdoor growing in some environments, especially where other people are growing, you can expect a lot of mishaps. You know, you got the wildlife landing on these plants, sharing the pollens, and this creates a germination of the plant. A lot of people don't want their plants germinated. I experienced this in Morocco and here in Spain. And people that grow in tents. If you don't clean your tent, your grow tent, you can do a lot of damage to following grows, molds, insects, cross pollinations, germinations. Good boy, Muk Muk. He's a good boy, you know. He's a good boy, you know. What do you want? Handsome, you know. Sexy bastard, you know. Gets told it all the time, don't know. Babette, me lovely. Nice to see you, my dear. And thank you, Ellen, for acknowledging exactly what I experience. You know, regulations, making it difficult for us to walk into a workplace or even education. Babbitt, we know, at this point, we know 3.5 years. My name's been on social media. My location's been on social media. 3.5 years. These shit talkers have tried and tried and tried. But anybody that types in Stephen William Farding, 18th of 4th, 1979, you know, like, yeah, fuck's sake, get me, yeah. You know, I'm in between Torrevieja and Alicante, in a place called Santa Polo. Santapolo. Santa Polo. I've left San Gabriel. And we're kind of sitting through the storm Amy at the moment. Big up, Amy. All you Amy's out there. Much love. A couple of years ago, when these people wanted to talk trash about me, I put one name out there, Otto. Yeah, Otto was the man that Arctic Nick spoke to. Yeah, not Stephen, Otto. Yeah, and Otto created a storm that spread around most of the world, and it hit Ireland and the UK worst, I think, if I remember correctly. And people of the chat were like, fucking hell, Steve, you know, like, check this storm Otto out. Yeah, you mentioned Otto, and all of a sudden, boom, the world's on it. This has happened many and many times. Yeah, I reminded folk about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I put a hex on you 3.5 years ago. You've suffered. Yeah, you fucking shut your mouth about me, and you recovered. You're opening your mouth about me again. Now guess what? Another fucking storm hit with meaningful names. Yeah? These people are so fucking thick stupid. They're stuck in the movies. They haven't got a clue about the manifestation. Yeah. They haven't got a clue about, sending a message through the wind, stomping your foot so the whole earth rumbles. They haven't got a clue about these things. This is one of the reasons it keeps me separated from people. When I'm around peoples, I'll recognize the wrong in them. I'll recognize the wrong about them. And it's not nice. Yeah, it's not nice to be, like, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have upset me. I've got some of the most shamanic, spiritual peoples that I've met physically that says I have a greater power than them, and they've studied this shit all their lives. This is something that they push. Me, I've always avoided it. I don't want to believe in magic. I don't want to believe in hexes and curses and freaking, I have the power. Yeah? But I'm forced to. By evidence. Physical fucking evidence. That not even God could argue. Good point. It's a common tactic to discredit, tarnish a person with false narratives. It's kind of sad that people find joy in their life by doing that. When they're collective and they're earning from it, yeah, you got to remember, people are more interested in money these days than the future. They couldn't give a fuck about what I can do for their future. Yeah? What I can do for their present lives. They're not interested in that. They're interested in the money. Yeah? If I was waving around thousands, yeah, like Zeus's comments came into YouTube and he's paying everybody's, like the Shrewsbury fucking shitty wet wipe, paying people's, yeah? You've got a voice. If you're not paying people, you ain't got a fucking voice. If you're a hobo drifter tramp like me, you ain't got a voice. You're a target because you're representing something that these people dream about. Yeah? Living in the sunshine, yeah, walking up and down naked beaches, yeah, getting delivered bags of groceries while you're sleeping by anonymous peoples, being stopped in the middle of the street. Yo, excuse me, yeah, here's 10 euros, here's 20 euros, here's 50 euros, here's 100 euros, here's 2,000 euros. People are jealous of the reality of which I live because they could not mentally, physically do what I'm doing. I ask for nothing. When people start giving me, I move on. I don't want to be bombarded. I want to die. I've always wanted to be dead. And this is one of the things a lot of these people ain't got a fucking clue about. Yeah? I'm not scared of death. I'm scared of life. I'm scared of living. Any time that I'm progressive, it's progressive for everybody around me. When anything happens, I'm the one fucking responsible. And this is what I tried telling Axel a couple of weeks ago about being in jail in Ireland as an English speaker, as an English born, as an English raised. Being in Ireland, I went to jail for 0.01 grams of marijuana. Mostly because I told the judge, what dumbass is going to put me in jail for fucking not even a joint's worth of weed? Held in contempt. Yeah? Held in contempt. Being cheeky to the judge, it's disrespectful to the fucking judge. Yeah? Give me a criminal record for 0.01 grams. That was my first criminal strike. My first. Fucked the rest of my life up. Because from that moment onwards, I said, fuck you. I'm doing everything to get stoned and make sure that the weed is free. Yeah? You don't have to pay for weed when I'm around. I'll grow it. We'll smoke it. Yeah? But you'll roll your own. I'm not giving it to you. You can take it from the table. It's in the bowl. Yeah. I had the Guarda in Ireland blessing me, telling me they understand you're a weed smoker. What you do in your own home, you do there. When you come to town, advertising it is when we're on your back. Now, did they pass that same blessing to the English? Because I had the same response in England. Did they send the same message to Spain? Because I've got the same fucking blessing here. Did they send that message to Morocco anytime that I went to Morocco? Because I had the same fucking blessing there. I've made a life of being stoned on marijuanas. And now I see the marijuana as something that I've loved all my life, being corrupted by the medical, by the governments, and by stupid fucking people, greedy people. You listen to all these fucking pissheads and junkies. You see them all big fucking, taking the piss out of my love, the love of my life. And it makes me think, I don't want to smoke no more. I don't enjoy a joint no more, unless I've grown it myself. I don't want to put money into your fucking pedophile circle, or your arms selling circle, or your simping, pimping, negative, fucking violent political fucking gangs. I don't want to do that. So I try not to. The last weed or hash that I smoked came from the streets. It was in a baggie, yeah? In a place similar to this, yeah? And it's like just picking up bits of rubbish, because I don't like to be around rubbish. I'm a litter picker at the music festivals throughout England, Wales and Scotland. So picking up rubbish, I fucking loves it. I loves the idea that the animals can roam around freely without our pollution. I loves it to think that when I lay down at night, there's no rubbish. There's no piss smell. So I'll piss in a bottle and I'll make the place cleaner. I'll leave the place cleaner than what I found it. Now I see these people taking the piss out of the things that I love. I'm on the march. I don't want to be part of that fucking shit stain circles. I don't want to promote the marijuanas no more. Plus, I can't afford it. I can't afford to go and see a dealer and potentially get busted, potentially get that dealer busted, potentially lose Grizzles. I can't afford to, yeah? I'm too emotionally connected with Grizzles, yeah? Physically, emotionally, you know? I don't want to see his life fucked up just because I went and got a smoke. And a lot of these people that are smoking weed don't share no more. They're treating it like crack. They're treating it like a fucking bag of coke. Yeah, it's theirs. They don't share. They don't give up their dealers. They can't spend 10 minutes and go and get a fucking bag for me or a spliff for me. So, fuck them. The free the weed generation is gone because everybody's capitalizing on it. To pay 20 euros a gram, fuck off. That's what I says. These commercial areas where they want 20 euros a gram, fuck off. Over my dead fucking body. And I says that to their faces. That's our Grizzles. Oh, Babette, this Storm Amy, she's ripped up Wales, ripped through Scotland, ripped through England. Hundreds of people without electricity, thousands of people without electricity. I think there's been a number of deaths, floodings, cars have been smashed, houses have been smashed. You know, people have been without food. She's come through with a fucking bad temper to remind man, the lads, you're doing it wrong. And it's absolutely beautiful. You just have a good nap there, chef. Slobberjaw! Yo, Slobberjaw. I subbed up to a fella earlier, and he's got in his about page, he's got his cannibalistic, vampirizing something or other, and it just reminded me of you. I had to subscribe to him straight away. Do you get me? Yeah, he was in somebody else's chat. I checks out his channel, and I go to his about page, and there it is, 3 sentences, and it's like, yeah, this is a dude. I seen a documentary a couple of days ago, and these people are promoting the knowledge, that process food processing plants, food processing industries are feeding us human. Okay, now check this out. This is one of the facts that they shared, one of the facts that I'm fully aware of. All right, farmers growing potatoes, just one example, are more than likely getting their fertilizers from the water treatment centers, sewage plants. Now, growing potatoes from human shit, growing potatoes in recycled graveyards, is one explanation to how human teeth and human bones are getting into our potatoes, into our food. But it's not just potatoes. Do you know? There's a lot of science that shows dementia is proven to be connected with cannibalism. Now, I'm not a scientist doing all this investigating stuff. I'm not a farmer that can tell the water treatment centers, fuck off with your fertilizers. I'm not one of these gardening stores that are selling compost and soils from these dug up graveyards. So I have got no control. But I do have the voice, and I've been saying it for 20, 25, 30 years that I'm aware of. People go missing whilst working in a McDonald's factory. It is too expensive to turn that machine off and empty the contents. So you get somebody falling in and getting minced up. It happens in every processing plant, whether it's a rat, bird, bugs. And this is why the food authorities tells food producers that you have to add this in your allergies, in your ingredients, may contain traces of, It's their safety net. We used to laugh and joke about certain cultures stealing our cats and dogs for their food industries. We used to laugh and joke about certain cultures coming to our lands and all our wildlife and all our decorative ornamental animals disappearing. Now it's a reality, and it's too fucking late to do anything about it. Now, a good point that was made, yeah? For example, we know through education and communications that some people like the koi carp for the Christmas dinner, yeah? So all the koi carp, all the carp that were growing in the lakes and the rivers in places I'm aware of, most of them disappeared. As soon as the European community opened the gates to such cultures. Now, with so many people in the poverty margin, it's easy to blame those cultures. Yeah? Easy to say, it's them. I know, I've eaten swan. Somebody I was working for in England had a freezer filled up with wild game. That was the way they saved money and ate meat. I've met vegans that don't eat meat, but you fill the freezer up with steak, chops, sausages, burgers, whole chickens. You come home after 2 weeks working out at sea and the freezer's empty. Where's all that meat gone? I ate it. But you're a vegan. I'm a fashionable vegan. I don't buy meat. I don't encourage the meat industries. But yeah, my meat. When I was introduced to YouTube, I had 200 mango sapphires growing. The YouTuber that came over to my mountain, both YouTubers that came over to my mountain, wanted exactly what I do and what I am and what I'm loud and proud about, freeing the marijuana. Both of them, both. They wanted what I had. Yeah. When I told them, this ain't your place to do that, yeah, and you're certainly not doing it where I'm doing it. You can go through the mountains, you can sort your own bit of land, and you can take your own fucking risks. But you're not making a path that leads from this house to your grow. You're not going to the commercial shops and buying your seeds, coming back here and growing your commercial grow. You're not inviting your junkie psychiatric runaways, your criminal fucking deluded gangs. You're not inviting them here to consume your grows. And this is what got their backs up. You know? Fuck you. You fucking cunt. You fucking cunt. Yes, I'm a fucking cunt that has got a life to preserve. And I don't have to preserve their life. Although I tried preserving their lives. And I tried showing them the right way to do things. Not their capitalistic, greedy ways. Yeah? Not their spiteful, malicious ways. And because of those two YouTubers, I don't do what I'm good at. Yeah? I don't do it. I don't participate. I almost refuse. Because I can't keep it a secret. Huh? I can't keep it to myself what I'm doing. I can't be proud of what I'm doing. I have to be looking over my shoulders. You know, and that's not a lifestyle, that's not a way of life that I'm comfortable with. Yeah? I'm a happy person. I don't need to be paranoid, and I certainly don't need encouraged to be paranoid by these dumbasses. They're so fucking brain dead because the amount of smack and crack running through their fucking system. Yeah, like the Shrewsbury City wet wipe. Yeah, Timmy No Teeth. Like the Arctic Nick Williams. The Arctic Nick Williams loudly announced that anytime he grew weed, it was either stolen by his neighbors or stolen by the police. And he had charges for growing marijuanas. Shrewsbury Shitty Wet Wipe, Timmy No Teeth. Trailer Trash Traveling Tim. He wanted to bring all his YouTube junkie mates over to my mountain to smoke his weed that he would grow within 3 months. The 3 months that he was willing to stay on my mountain. I told him straight away, your psychiatric bitches, junkie bitches, ain't welcomed. People like the Nutter and his family ain't welcomed. It don't matter you think you're the boss. It don't matter the fact that you think you have control. Around me, in my environment, nobody and nothing controls me. And that's what I told him. I don't do junkies. I don't do alcoholics. So none of them are welcomed. When he was so desperate to go and see his drug dealing friends in Orgiva, his drug trafficking friends in Orgiva, his friends that might be associated with the Arctic Nick Williams, his friends that might be associated with the Madeleine McCann. When I told him those people are not welcome, when I showed him I have a cat to deliver in the same direction, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's kill 3 birds with 1 stone. It's winter solstice. Yeah, I'd love to be in that area for winter solstice, being around people they're celebrating winter solstice. Let's take this cat over to that area where I've been ordered it must go. You can go and see your junkie, drug trafficking, possible human trafficking, or murder cover-up fucking friends. You can go and visit them. But where I'm going, you're also welcomed. When we arrived to where I was taking him, my friend said, what's wrong with him? She's psychiatric case. She drank some psychedelic loopy juice and never came back. Yeah? She's been fraggled off for like 6-7 years. He had a hard-on for her. He had a hard-on for her bitches being in season. I arrived with 3 dogs. 2 of those dogs were related to her bitch that was in season. They're not making puppies with her. I put my foot down. I slept away from those people. I slept away from him. I took my 3 dogs and I slept in another friend's piece of land. I woke up in the morning to go and check, and he sat there waiting to make this psychiatric case breakfast. I had one idea. I'm going for a shit. Yeah, I'm going for coffee and I'm going for a shit. Yeah? So you do what you want. I made my way about 7 miles along the main road, whilst that person was frantically listening to me, doing my live stream, talking about how he's endangered my dogs and endangered me, threatening my life, threatening my existence, threatening my dog's existence. This person then reached out and told the world publicly that they were going to burn me out. smashed me in my sleep with his baseball bat, newly brought baseball bat. And so I went to town and I said, well, if I'm a dead man, I'm a dead man walking. If you need to be on that mountain for the next few months, see your vacation through, be on that mountain, see the vacation through. I don't need to be there, and I don't want to be nowhere near you. And so I slept that night, which was a Thursday night, market day. I slept up at the Wi-Fi point in the hippie community, outside. 2 nights I slept outside. And then I walked more than 50 miles from that hippie community to my mountain, only to find a dozen shitty wet wipes blowing in the wind, a trailer tent emptied and abandoned and being ripped to pieces by the wind. He claimed he left it for me. He claimed then he was coming back to collect it. He claimed then that I stole it from him. I mean, the variety of scenarios that came from shitty wet wipe is fabricated as the bullshit that come from Arctic Nick Williams. Now, like I said to Ronan Holden, for anybody that believes and promotes the word of these people, are you on their paycheck? Huh? Are you on the payroll? Are you part of the same gang of fake narratives? Are you there, part of these criminal acts that these people are passing off onto other people? And don't you know how to research? Before you open your mouth about individuals, before you start broadcasting publicly about individuals, do some research. Shitty Wet Wipe spent 5 months researching me before he arrived to Spain. He spent less than 3 weeks in my company before I walked away from him. Every time he insisted I send him things that I want, things that I need, there's one thing on the list: boots. Yeah, all-terrain stomping boots, work boots, solid. And I gave him an idea, a direction. Go to the military store and get me a pair of paratrooper boots. That's the only thing I wanted. So all the disco lights that he came with, all the power packs that he came with, well, he gave me 1 power pack, 2 power packs, sorry. The disco lights, the Santa uniforms, all these things I didn't need, didn't want. All the food that he kept putting a price on, how much each bean was worth, how much each slice of bread was worth, how much each slice of onion was worth. When he put that control and that awareness there, I reminded him, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. First time I met him, I spent 66 quid on his steak dinner. I wouldn't have eaten that steak dinner under normal circumstances. Those people at that bar know what I eat, and I wouldn't have eaten a fucking steak dinner like that. That's pathetic. And I wouldn't have paid 66 quid for 2 steak dinners. That's pathetic. I'd go to the supermarket if I want steak, and I'll spend a tenner on a fucking steak that is too much for me to eat. Not a little bit of fucking steak, no bigger than a sausage. Marching Arctic Nick Williams down to the bank, yeah? Because he threw his bank card at me. He threw his bank card at me. So impulsively, I said, I'm not going to your bank withdrawing your money with your card. You said you were coming with X amount of pounds for renting my bus. Where is it? You give me this card, I'll snap your fucking card. I don't want you for your money. Yeah? I wanted you for your truth. Yeah? I wanted to help him Yeah, finish his case. You know, he says he's got all the answers and he's got the truth about where Madeleine McCann is or what happened to her. I wanted him to reveal the truth. I wanted him to be in a safe environment to get his mission completed. And he failed because he came with nothing of what he had promised. I held him to his word. Because the fact that when I put him on the spot, he threw the card at me. I said, go to the bank and get it. Now, the message that I pinned a while ago, that Lucifer, he'll be able to tell you if you go and ask him. Yeah? But I'm going to tell you anyways. Nick Williams, after he fucked off, collected his things from my mountain, I stayed down in the village eating my dinner. He raced up to the mountain, collected his things, and he stayed down on the beach that night. The next day, he phoned up his landlord, alleged friend of the McCann family, that's what he told me, came and collected him, took him back to Orgiva. About, I'm not sure how long, in a short time after, Arctic started telling everybody I took the last of his money. So, I took the last of his money. All right. I remember saying to these peoples, if he was coming over to live on my mountain, was he trying to claim squatters' rights? Was he trying to claim and position me where I can't remove him because he's invited? And now I have to take him to court to get him removed. That's law in Spain, by the way, yeah? Rent a property, you don't pay, the landlord has to take you to court and get you removed. Yeah, it isn't just like, get the fuck out of my house, yeah? They can't do that, right? And there's a lot of this occupied buildings here in Spain from the same situation. Yeah, you get into somebody's building, they can't just remove you, all right? You refuse to pay the rent, you refuse to pay the bills, they can't just kick you out. Yeah, you don't just get an eviction notice. Yeah, they have to take you through court and remove you through the courts. So was Arctic Nick Williams positioning me? That I wouldn't be able to remove him by arriving to my space with no money? Only he can answer. Yeah, but the fact that he's waiting for a court case, accessing his inheritance, his dead father's leftovers, something that his stepmother was keeping back from him because he's a junkie, no good for nothing. It's there. Did Ronan Holden, did TNK, did fucking Zeus's Comments do any research? Did they check any of this out? We're 3.5 years down the line, and these people are worming their way into channels, yeah, and telling people about how I'm introduced to YouTube and things that I've done with my life. Abduction charges. Now, abduction, parental abduction, that charge was dropped, and less than 2 weeks later, I was given joint guardianship. So, abduction charges, abuse of women. Well, I had a woman taking me to court for allegedly smashing her in the face. She had burn in my chin. Yeah, burn in my chin. I smacked the lighter out of, her hand. You know, boom. Her hand and the lighter went up against her face. The judge said to that woman, if Stephen William Farding punched you in the mouth, where's your missing teeth? Where's the scars? There's no blood in this photograph. There's no... I've been dealing with Stephen William Farding since he was a minor. Judge James O'Connor, that was the judge that we were up against. He put me into foster care. He's the one that put me in jail for 0.01 gram. He the one that charged me €500 for defending myself against a group of fellas. Yeah, but look, one of the fellas got a scar around here because the fella tried attacking me. I splashed him with the beer. His mates pushed him, and my pint of beer went into his face. So Judge James O'Connor knows me. All the Guarda of West Cork knew me. And if I'm going punching you, yeah, you deserve it. And it's going to mark you for the rest of your life. So, thrown out of court, that one. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying this for 3.5 years. Off my own heart. You know, you want to talk about me? Let's talk about the things I'm responsible for. Let's talk about the things that I've went through. Don't talk about shit that I haven't got a clue about, yeah, that you want to fabricate and twist around. Alright? I've got a life. It's not as dark as many, but I feel it's dark enough that I don't need, to be putting that on other people's. Down to, I will not go to a drug dealer. I will not access these weed delivery apps. Yeah, I will not do it because I don't believe that somebody like me can respectfully, responsibly do such things. It's quite obvious I'm a smoker. I've had loads of smokers approach me and say, yeah. And that's what I expect. I don't expect to go searching for it. I expect it to be available. When I go to the fucking cannabis shops, I don't expect CBD, I expect THC. And if you're selling CBD, then you're fucking fakes. And I tell them, no problem. Wow, lots of messages coming through. Again, I thought it was all fucking, gone silent in there. Hey, Kelly. Quaver Raver. Pure carnage. A home grow is clean organic grow. Yes, I've said this all along. Like the government growers, the medical growers, fuck off. You get me, yeah? They fuck around with the water. Anything grown indoors, I'm against. Yeah, I'm an outdoor grower. I like smoking my outdoor weed, the old cultural stuff. I don't like the autoflowers, the feminized seeds. No way. Yeah. I like to pick the males out. Yeah, separate the males, from the females. The government has whatever weaponry they've been using for many years. Weaponized weather for the agenda of control and the goal of prison planet. Yes, I agree. The more and more we see all this stuff going on, the more and more I believe in what was conspiracy theories. Yeah, I've seen it here in Spain. I've seen the airplanes passing by, you get me, yeah, leaving their lines certain times a year, more so than others. And yeah, when I look at the way people are creating the comic book world, the sci-fi world, when they're creating these superheroes and the super weapons, yeah, I recognized, you know what, these people were not conspiracists. Yeah, these are not conspiracy theories. These are fucking truth. Yeah, and these people were made out to be complete fucking nut jobs. Yeah, but it's too late. It's too fucking late. The people, we've lost. We just have to play along and accept it. We've lost. You need degrees to create a chicken nugget. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there. I had somebody a week or so ago saying to me in Alicante, there's only one good kebab available. All the rest of them are using chemical meats. Yeah, and that got me thinking. It's like, fuck. You know, it's a reality. When I listen to the amount of people claiming, the food's creating the cancers, the food's creating dementia, the food's creating autism, the food's creating, it's like, fucking hell, yeah. Tooth decay, like mental disorders, you know, for sure, contributes, for sure. It's no longer conspiracy theories. The truth is out there. And like I says, all we can do is live with it. You know, you try and grow your own weed, you try and grow your own potatoes, you try and grow your own fucking cows, and no matter what they eat, no matter what they drink, it's all contaminated because it's around the world, in the air, in the waters, in the earth. You know, Mother Earth herself is pumping out these self-defense mechanisms. And it's way beyond our way of understanding or any chance of us controlling it. Yeah, Mother Earth steps in. Like, with fucked. Kelly Belly's in the house. I use a McNabb. Scotland. Loch Tay Killen. Wow. Scott, Swede, Finnish, Rusky, Mongol. Wow. But born in Canada. That's awesome. That is awesome, man. Some old bloodlines in you. I got a message from somebody a couple of weeks ago, and a donation, and I'm not sure if I thanked that person yet. So I thank you very much for your support, and stand assured, information that I receive, personal information that I receive, I have never, ever shared that stuff with other people. Not even, not even the worst of people that have attacked me. Sure, some things that they've said about their criminal life or their personal habits, sure, I've shared them things. Things that they've said about other people in private, sure, I've shared those things. But the personal details, ages, addresses, names, I've never shared. Okay, those are things that I hold dear. More to the point of, it has repercussions. Yeah, not on you, not on me, but following people that follow it. Whether it be children, grandchildren, uncles, aunties, mothers, fathers. Yeah, those things I don't share. Simple as. For those reasons, I respect individualities. I respect individuals. Yeah. I've had people asking me for people's details, and it's like, you're not getting that from me. Straight out. I couldn't give a fuck what you gonna do with it. Couldn't give a fuck who you think you are and why. Yeah, for what reasons. And that information will never come from me. Well, 6:30. We've got about an hour until sunset. How much battery have I got? 27. You look like a version of Francis. You look like a female version of Francis Maximus McNabb. Wow. I don't have a clue Francis Maximus McNabb is. But thank you for the heads up. Fortunate for both of us. Use in Canada's and chances of us meeting. But who knows? Who knows? We love you, Kev. And I thank you for your time and thoughts. And yeah, everything, your support. Much appreciated. And got me out of some hungry times. Nowadays, it's hand to mouth. Most days, people are just randomly coming up to me and, giving me dollars, giving me food parcels. And I prefer that, you know. I don't like the digital banking. There's too much complications with it. It isn't what it says it is. So in this food hamper that I was given today, you're going to do a live stream shortly? Nice one, my dear. My dear, many times I like listening to yourself, checking out the scenery that you share, you know. Hey, Stephen Barker. And yeah, I don't see it as lurking. Being potentially the only person from Spain to be tuned into your channel, I think, I stand out. So I don't see it as lurking or ghosting. To save battery, it's like I watch and listen. I never used to. I couldn't go to a chat. I couldn't tune into anybody's before without commenting. But for the trolls, for the shit talkers, I started holding back. And for people that I've upset, people that are disappointed in me, I'm one of these people that, be accused of taking over the chat, putting the spotlight on me. I try and inspire hosts and chatters to open up, talk about yourselves rather than other people. Other people just encourages that malicious circle, and people start having two sides eventually, on this. I've had people come in between, and I've seen lots of it, where people are coming between each other. Tell them, look at where I sit. You know, look through my videos. Yeah, scan through them. I'm outside. I love the outdoors. I love listening to the birds. Yeah, I love nature. Yeah, I love the natural world. So anybody that's showing a bit of nature, you know, I'm a sucker punched. It's the only attraction that I seen about that Axel fella. Yeah, him being a beekeeper. You know, all my life I've been interested in bees, and so meeting somebody online who's going to talk to me about beekeeping, I couldn't give a fuck about the rest of his life. Do you get me? It's about the beekeeping. Well, I think I've consumed the heaviest of stuff. Now I'm a little bit um, mm, curious of what to do with the coffee that I'm not drinking and the tortillas that I won't eat, and the beans that I probably shouldn't eat, and the Tupperware containers, you know, in this bag. I'm curious, you know, like what to do with them. Should I, you know, leave the bag here for the person to collect? I've been kind of waiting and hoping that the person that delivered this food hamper would show their face, you know, they would come and introduce themselves, but they haven't. And now it's at a time where the outside of this park is a little bit fresher and suitable for my grizzles to experience a walk around. Yeah, get a bit of sunshine, go and see the sunset. Mm. And cats wander, you know. We think we own cats, you know. We think, yeah. But like I've proven to many folks, cats are independent individuals. I've known cats to have multiple homes, yeah, and they'll come and stay, they'll disappear, and this time of year, aren't they in season? Isn't it mating season for cats and dogs? So cats go off, you know, the same as dogs go off, the same as we go off when we're horny. Do you get me? Yeah. We go and seek that physical attention. Babette, it might be buffering because I've moved around. Yeah, this phone isn't isn't as good as my last one. For example, if I go from WhatsApp to Messenger, the phone freezes, it loses signal. If I go from Messenger or WhatsApp to YouTube, it freezes and loses signal. If I'm scrolling through, eventually it loses signal. This phone is shite. Fair enough, it's a year old now. Yeah, I thank the people this time last year when we interacted with Homeless and Proud. I found a metal bed frame beside the bins, and I reached down to pick it up, and I dropped my phone, and it refused to live anymore. And reached out to people's, and other people reached out to other people's, and within a day or two, my PayPal was filled up, and I was able to afford a new phone. In a moment, I'm kind of seeking an address where I can have parcels sent to. When I've sourced an address where I can have parcels sent to, I'll be ordering a new phone. You know, I have enough in the PayPal. I have nearly 400 euros in the PayPal. So yeah, I think Grizzles is too young for me to buy him a buggy. All right, but when he becomes disabled, when he starts, like showing disabilities, um, I'll get him a buggy. If I'm still wandering around for summer next year, I think we'll find somewhere where we can sit down and don't move for 3 months, because it's far too hot for him to move around July, August, June, July, August. Far too hot for him to move around in the daytime. I would almost contemplate getting him a buggy for next summer, but is that going to encourage more laziness for him? You know, we won't know until it happens. Stephen Barker, welcome in. I'm not sure where I knows your name from, Stephen Barker, but you're welcome. You've been leaving out mealworms for birds, but they'd rather have sausages. Yeah, cat food. Birds loves cat food and sausages and bacon. And yeah, we shouldn't leave out, pecan duck or roast chicken, because that's a bit like cannibalism, isn't it? Squirrels in your backyard are beggars. We've got a fella, Spandex John, who's got beggars in his garden. Foxes, squirrels, yeah, and he gives in to them. Oh, I've got something to tell you. Yesterday, I nearly pulled out my tooth. Yeah, this one. Today the gum's a little bit sensitive because I was playing around with it for hours yesterday. Yeah, but I reckon in the next couple of weeks I'm just gonna yank it out. It causes me so much bother. It's so fucking wobbly. You know, these two teeth slide across the gum. Yeah, slide across the gum. One day they're over here, and then they're over there. Yeah, so they're not attached to anything. They are ready to come out. Hey, faces of YouTube. Hmm. There was a chat the other day, faces of YouTube. There was mentioning a UK lady is trolling people's chats with Quaver Be Raver. Uh, Even Quaver Be Raver was accusing the UK lady of cloning the account. And then the hosts were blocking one of the accounts. I asked the same, you know. I mean, you got unique characters. You know, it's like who would clone UK lady, for example? Who would clone me, for example? Yeah, but people do. People have been. Uh, uh, I remember doing live streams and folk coming into me chat saying, "Hey, you're live, but you're in so and so's chat," and it's like, I've not been so and so's chat for fucking months. What are you on about? So yeah, cloning people's accounts. Mm, people point fingers, and some people are gullible and dumb enough to believe it's that person or this person, and you know, peoples are peoples. Right. I've decided I'm taking what I can consume and leave the rest. Excuse me, it's pee pee time. I've got a bottle, and I insert me pecker into the bottle. Sorry, I put the bottle down my trouser leg, and then I insert my winky wonker into the bottle, and piss away. Whew, and it feels good and reassuring that I'm not leaving germs and bacteria and possible viruses and bad smells around the place. You know, I leave the place cleaner than I found it. Yeah, and I think I earned quite a bit of respects from onlookers. Yeah, and I definitely pat myself on the back for, like I said, not leaving a trail. Yeah, you know. Most people I know wouldn't give a shite. They'd be up against those bushes, up against that wall, up against the trees, you know, and piss away. I was taught that by retired military peoples when I was first homeless. Yeah, not to leave a trail. Yeah, because not only the enemy, but also animals be affected by or be able to track you down. So yeah, leaving a trail of human shit and human piss around the place, the enemy can recognize it, and so can predatory animals. So, you know, the military, big up. Yeah, I learned something from you. I've carried through my life that I respect. Then you've got immature, ignorant peoples. They haven't got a fucking clue. They'll scrutinize me for pissing in the bottle and shitting in a plastic bag, dumping it in the rubbish bin. They'll scrutinize me. They'll call me disgusting. But I'm not the one sitting on the same toilet seat every day, 5 times a day. You get me? I'm not the one that has to break the bank to pay for detergents and scrubbing equipment. You get me? I'm not the dirty bastard that goes to the beach and pisses in the sea or shits in the sea. I'm not a dirty bastard that will go camping and piss and shit a meter away from my tent. I'm not one of those ones. I'm not a dirty bastard that'll get tanked up on a Friday, Saturday night and then piss all over my city streets or my neighbours' roses. I'm not one of those homeless persons that people say, he's not welcomed in our park. He's not welcomed in our driveway. He pisses and shits and leaves loads of rubbish. I was sleeping in the doorway the other day and I uploaded it because it was pissing it down. I woken up in the morning like it was a broken sleep. Yeah, I didn't sleep well that night. And I was expecting to get flooded. Luckily, not even a drop touched us. And what do you call it? I got woken up but by the workmen. Yeah, and even they, even they saw my piss bottle and smiled. You know, even they said, "Take your time. You know, we're just opening up the building site. Take your time." Yeah. MacGyver, wow, hi there. Mr. E, top man. Cool up with your post yesterday, sir. Nice, nice. I like I like that your Orbex in foreign countries. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's like your passion, your hobbies, your interests. You know, like you take it everywhere with you. You're committed. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. I'm a little bit hurt. You know, like I haven't followed your whole channel. You know, like your whole content. Scanning through yesterday, there's a lot I haven't seen. Yeah, due to technology issues, bro. You know. Uh, if I had, you know, like home like most people's, I'd have the TV, the computer, the fucking games console, tablet, my mobile phone, and I'd be able to watch everything that people are uploading. I'd be able to edit. I'd be able to do shitloads of stuff. So I thank you, and I big respects, and much love to you and the family. Yeah, blessings. I hope everything going well. Oh, 20%. We might catch the sunset. I'm slowly packing up. I should hurry up. All right. So, bottle of water, tins of fish, tin of beans. I'll wrap those dates up in what? Oh, they look like hand-picked dates. There's some tissue there. And got a bag there. Happy days. I think these are local dates. Home preserved or locally preserved. No mystery, I haven't. We're living out of a rucksack, wandering from village to towns to cities, and really enjoying it. If I'm sleeping here tonight, that bag's still there. I don't know. You want to see what I'm doing? Okay, I'll show you. We'll show you what I'm doing. Use the piss bottle as a toilet, as a stand. Grizzles knows we're going somewhere. Look at that tail waggling, yeah? Oh, get kisses, do I? Oh. What friends are we going to meet tonight then, Grizz? Hey. What is that? You want a sweet? We got these briskets, a box of briskets. Yeah. What's this? He sniffed the beefy one. He didn't want that one. He wanted the salmon one. He's saving the beefy one for last. Gargamella from the Smurfs. Wow, cool. Hola. Feliz perro. Tu perro muy feliz. Ah, it's two. Wow. Now, I've got all my rubbish in that piss bowl. It's not just urine. Ah, señores, ayer tuve invitación yo para un café.
Sí.
Ay, señor, gracias. Muchas gracias.
La golosina del perro que le gustó también.
Sí, Sí, es bien.
Está gordo, ¿eh? Está
40 kilos más o menos.
40.
Sí.
esta
Sí.
pesa 15 y no puedo con ella. O sea, que
15 es mejor, porque 15 kilos es más o menos peso mi mochila.
Madre mía, pues con todo lo que llevas encima,
Sí, sí.
todo el día cargado.
Ya.
nosotros también hemos llevado mochila. Antes íbamos
Madre
mucho al
mía,
campo con
sí.
el Macuto a de
Éramos
montaña.
jóvenes.
Ah, sí. Ah, muy
Ella
bien.
ha llevado una mochila de 20 kilos.
Sí, de 30
Wow.
también.
Wow.
Casi mi peso.
20 kilos.
20 kilos pesaba.
Y más.
La cuerda, el material de montaña, la comida, las latas y
Ah,
Ya.
sí.
saco de dormir.
Ya no.
Pero éramos jóvenes, ahora ya no.
Ya no.
Ahora,
Ahora ya no.
ahora me no gusta mucho peso para montañas. No, no.
No, ya no. Estos son recuerdos de cuando éramos jóvenes.
El primer año yo rescue él. Yo retorno de montaña para... él tengo una montaña, una cortico de montaña. Perdón, mi español tampoco. Yo necesito para comprar croquetas para perros.
A croquetas.
Yo compro 100 con 20 kilos de croquetas.
Claro.
6 sacos.
Ahí está.
2 sacos, uno aquí, para la montaña, 5 kilómetros.
Pero
Todo-
menudo amigo tienes más
Hombre, este.
grande y más
Ay.
bonito.
Sí, sí. Original, yo tengo un Shih Tzu. ¿Tú sabes un Shih Tzu?
Sí.
Pequeño, mucho pelo,
Sí,
el muerto de febrero.
Ah,
Yo rescue él, arriba de COVID, yo rescue él.
Esto
Sí.
es precioso y tiene una pinta de bueno.
esta se la encontró mi hija abandonada en la carretera
Con
con
5
un
semanas.
mes. Un cachorrín así. Ya tiene año y medio.
Un año y medio,
Un año
sí.
y medio.
Muy
Muy
bien.
joven.
Muy
Pero vamos, que
bien.
cuando vino era así una ratita, una.
Wow,
Y
wow.
abandonada en la carretera, aquí, en la de Santa Pola, Elche.
Ah, sí, aquí Santa Paula.
Ahí abandonada. ¿Verdad?
Y como
Ahí
mi hija tiene un gato, pues la quedamos.
nos la quedamos nosotros.
Wow.
¿Eres una
Pues
chuche?
ella es muy feliz.
¿Eh? ¿Eres una
¿Cómo te
chuche?
llamas?
Él muk muk. Muk muk.
Toma, mira,
Sí.
ven, ven. Mumok,
Espérate,
mumok.
Ah,
Mira,
pues sí.
mumok.
que le da
Es tu
envidia
amigo de ayer.
a Nuca, que le da envidia.
Sí,
Hoy él gusta estar
Le da
caminando.
envidia.
toma, mira. Así, muy bien.
Tú te lo comes entero, claro.
Es suave,
Un
¿sí?
bocón.
Sí,
Ay,
muy bien.
muy bien. Muy bien,
Uno, a ti ya te he dado.
muy bien, ¿eh? ¿Te gusta?
Sí, es comida.
Tiene un moqueo.
Ay, qué envidia, qué mala la envidia.
Bueno, vamos a
De
ir.
mañana es el bolso tuyo,
¿El qué? No,
¿no? De mañana yo vuelto mi hoy es un bolso de mucha comida. Un persona.
no sé, alguien se lo ha
Reglado
regalado.
para mí.
No, nuestro no.
Esto no es.
Ay, ay,
Bueno, bajamos.
sí, yo andar para el sol.
Venga.
Hasta luego.
Muchas gracias. Adiós. Wow. Excuse me. Speaking to some neighbors. Yesterday, like I said, woke up at the building site and then moved on to the next bit of shelter. And this gentleman insisted, because I refused to go for coffee, he insisted that I receive a tenner from him. I've just recognized him. He sat there with his wife and his dog, and he's just explaining now that his dog was abandoned at the age of 1 month. Tiny little thing. Wow. I'm gonna flip the camera around a minute so you can see some of the scenery. He's too eager to go running. Hola. There. I've been in Spain 11 years now. Yeah, I think this is my 11th year. I'm in Spain now. Yeah. This is my third time in this village. I came up from Murcia the first time. So yeah, came through this village, or this town, and then went back down to Murcia and came through this village. And now I'm coming from Valencia and I've come through this village. Alicante's up that way, about 4 hours walking. A bit more than 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours walking. This is a bit of wasteland, not sure. It looks like a car park, but there's no access. No dogs allowed on the beach, but as we can see, there's dogs walking around here. Yeah. It would be a nice sleeping place, except for the fact that dogs are pissing and shitting all over the place, and so do the peoples. That's what we got for sunset tonight. Mate, in comparison to being homeless in England or Ireland, where I'm originally from, yes, Spain is paradise for me. You know. Okay, so England, I got into trouble, went to jail for fighting with the police during a riot, defending my favourite area in Bristol, with excessive improvising madness. In Ireland, I got into trouble and labelled for being a weed smoker, and seriously harassed, for being a weed smoker. So here in Spain, I'm on my own, and I like it. Yeah, I like it. Fell in love with a Spanish lady initially. She introduced me to Spain, and then back in the UK we separated. I left her there, and I came on to be in Spain, hoping that she'd follow me, but she didn't. I stayed rented from her family for the first year, worked with her family for the first year, hoping that she'd see sense that this is where life is for me, knowing that I don't need me asthma steroids and me the inhalers. I don't have to stress about health. I don't have to stress about being terrorized by the uniform. Yeah, Spain, I much prefer. Right. Yeah, Grizzles just had a dump. You seen that, did you? I keep his dog bags. Since coming to the streets, dog bags hanging around towns and stuff. Shit bags are quite important. Living on the mountain, I never once picked up their shit. Leave it for bug food, bird food, but as you can see, bugs and birds don't really pay attention to dog shit. I once thought about using dog shit as a building material, because it's, I don't know what it is, but it's got that concrete thing about it. You leave it, I reckon, mix it with sand, and it could make like replace the cow shit huts. You know? It seems to be a bit of a waste, the amount of shite that comes out of these dogs and just gets left around or bagged up and thrown away. Seems like a bit of a waste. So always trying to think about what to do with waste, how to recycle and make use of waste. You see that park over there? That's where we were. Sorry, those trees. That's where we were. So basically I was fed up of being ill, like being asthmatic in England. You know, like my health was going downhill, being known as, being treated as a criminal for, you know, doing what I thought was correct, defending my space, defending innocence. You know, if you know anything about Bristol, England, like Stokes Croft was filled up with people from Brighton and London. They were squatting a lot of buildings around that area, and they started all these variety of protests, and they started one against Tesco's Express that was opening up on Stokes Croft, and it was Easter weekend. I went out the homeless hostel to go partying, full on party mode, and walked into their protest, and it turned into a riot, and the police started beating up on me, and so I started beating up on them. I fucked them up single-handed. Something I'm quite proud of, you know, that put me in war, and I'll fuck you up. It doesn't matter how many of you are. It don't matter how fucking armed up you are. I'll take your weapons off of you and I'll use them against you. I'm quite proud of that, but that puts me into a dangerous situation. You know, like, yeah, you know, going in and out of jail all the time. I mean, why? For other people starting on me. Why should I be the criminal? You know, why should I be the victim? So Spain being, you know, like, weed is still illegal in Spain. Okay, what you do in your own home, you do in your own home. Yeah, that's the law here, as far as weed's concerned. In England, me being a weed smoker, I can't afford to smoke weed at the prices in England, and so I'd be inclined to, you know, make sure I've got enough for me and my friends or associates. And so that puts me into that victim of going into jail, having my house fucking burgled, you know, whether it's by uniform or by fucking spiteful, greedy peoples. Living with a woman, a beautiful woman, it puts her at risk. You know, so it's like, nah, you know, nah. I wasn't comfortable in England. And I wasn't comfortable in Ireland, knowing that, you know, like, I'm the fucking name on the table in every household for Steve's always got a smoke. We call Steve Mini Amsterdam because he's always got a variety of smoke. You know, yeah, it's weird. But here in Spain, I've had the police saying to me, "Oh, you're in the right place." Just before I left Bristol, I had one particular grower Every grow, and I mean every fucking grow, he used to come to me and top me up. I had a couple of fellas that were growing. They would, like come to me and deliver stuff to me. And I had a lot of people throughout Bristol, St. Paul's, Easton, St. George, Montpellier, St. Werburgh's, Gloucester, Gloucester Road. I had a lot of people that knew me as being involved with the parties and the weed communities. And so they all encouraged me. More so when I came out of jail. When I came out of jail, oh dear, I didn't know, I'd never experienced anything like that. Complete fucking strangers coming up to me and, here's an ounce of weed. Here's half a key of weed. If and when you get a bit of money, sort us out. That sort of behaviour. It was very beautiful, very community orientated being in Bristol. Same as being in West Cork, Southern Ireland, huge community. Nice to be part of a community. But, fucking hell, being the main name on, tips of people's tongue. You go to the bars, like people are talking about you. Oh, Steve ain't got no weed this week. It's like, fuck, shut your fucking mouth, will you? Do you get me? The amount of times police from different towns were there at the bars. The amount of times, like getting pulled over on the side of the street and having me having stripped down and prove that I've not got anything on me. It takes something out of your spirit. It's almost like a rape, do you get me? Yeah, being stripped down and searched on the side of the street. And that's what I encountered a lot in Ireland. And it very discomforting. When they started smuggling, or when they started getting caught for smuggling in Ireland, that was it then for me. That's why I walked away from Ireland. Because all of a sudden, these capitalist bastards, trafficking things that I don't agree with. All of a sudden, people like me become the main targets. I had my own family saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be here." They've just caught those three fucking smugglers. That's your fishing ground. That's your fucking playground. But it's like, hang on a minute, they're smuggling coke. That's nothing to do with me. I don't have fuck all to do with a lot of the party people because they're involved in the coke. You get me? Yeah? That's more their fucking thing. Nothing to do with me. I'm pure weed and psychedelics. Fuck them gang mafia fucking substances. So yeah, much more peaceful here in Spain. Feck's sake, up on my mountain, getting away with growing 200 mango sapphires, having the police coming up 3 times, and they weren't interested in the fucking smell of weed. They weren't interested in me coming towards them with a joint in my mouth. Do you get me? Yeah. What are you doing in your own home? You do here. Oh, you're Stephen William Farthing. You're in the right place. Are you okay for water here? If you need any assistance, here's our phone number. And don't forget, there's a hotline. Just fuck off. Being able to smoke my own oils, my own pollens, knowing what goes into it, and what it's all about. It was beautiful. Like I said earlier, in the life, yesterday walking with Grizzles and he takes a shit. and the fucking police stop, as I'm picking his turds up, and they come over and have you got papers for that dog? Show them my papers, go through my fucking rucksack. Where's his passport? Fucking hell, yeah, it's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, I put it up there. Okay, fine. Boom, grab his passport, give him his passport. They go off to their car, do a fucking P&C check on my name and NIE number. It's like, fucking hell, like, they're not interested in what's in my pocket. They're not interested in what's in my rucksack, yeah? All they're interested in is the dog, and making sure that he's up to date with his vaccinations, making sure that he's my dog, And it's, like in England and Ireland, fuck, man, they would have ransacked me rucksack, gone through every corner of me pockets. And, fair enough, yesterday I didn't have nothing on me, so I would have had the upper hand on them if it were in England and Ireland. But it's, like here in Spain, it's not like that, yeah? My rucksack's my home, yeah? And what I do in my own home, I do, and it's none of their fucking business, because it's not hurting or interrupting with anybody, or so yeah, they got a lot more to be paying attention to. I know they're more interested in all the Ukrainian, Moroccans, Senegalese, all the pissheads, like all the tourists, they're more interested in the chaos. And controlling the borders. If I wanted to sit here and roll a joint now, I could do that quite happily and peacefully. And I wouldn't get busted. And I've done that all around anywhere where I've walked, anywhere where I've been smoking, It is beautiful, isn't it, Babette? This is kind of what we stepped out from under the trees to pay attention to. Like when I first set up this channel 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, I used to chase the sunrises and sunsets. Talking about my life rather than talking about all the bullshitters. But then any bit of trolling, any bit of argument, I was straight on it. Calling the people out for who they and what I see them as. The only reason I've mentioned them peoples today, calling them peoples out today, is because they've been talking shite about me. Again, they've been coming into chats and purposely targeting myself with their fantasies and their bullshit. Trying to use me as a distraction from the bullshit that they've landed themselves in, for the lifestyles that they be living. Using me as a distraction. Trying to put bad thoughts in other people's heads about me. I ain't no bad fella. If I were a bad fella, after 3.5 years, 4 years of publicizing my life on this platform, I would have been picked up and fucking locked up by now. And if I was responsible for the things that these people have said that I'm responsible, I'd probably be dead by now within the prison system. So, it backfires on them peoples every time they talk shite about me. Because there's a collection of them, and they've been organising themselves for the last 5 or 6 years, and some of them longer. is not taking on one person, it's taking on the whole fucking group of them. You know, if the fella's got 20,000 subscribers, it's taking on 20,000 peoples. Although there's only possibly like 200 of those people paying attention to the bullshit that they want to talk. The rest of them just see it as entertainment, YouTube entertainment, until it happens to them. And then their world crumbles down. They get their friends involved, they get their police involved. This time of day gets quite busy. People walking up and down this rambler. This road's quite long, yeah, and it goes down to the harbour. It goes through all the touristy area. Loads of fishing boats, loads of sailboats, pleasure boats. It was all along the coast. Up here is a bit more residential. That's residential. And then down there gets a bit more touristy. But a load of people be walking themselves up and down here, walking their dogs up and down here, building up an appetite for their for their dinners. Hello, Crimson Cookie. Wishing you wellness and happiness. Good, thank yous. Not knowing you either. Thank yous. We don't know who you are either. Well, we're gonna check your channel out, can I? I can't check your channel out. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Most folks in this chat has got a spanner. And it's just so you can connect with other people's, feel comfortable that you're not going to get blocked or timed out, you know, because that's what a lot of people with spanners in other chats do. You know, this is my territory. Who are you coming in wishing Steve happiness and wellness? You know, he's a beg, he's a tramp, he's a dirty bastard. He got rotten teeth. He's got a better dog than me. He lives in the sunshine. I live in the pissing down the rain. Yeah. Hola. Hola, guapas. Hola, sexy bitch. Buenas tardes. Peres. Sí, perdone, él muy guapo. Muchas mujeres gusta él. Es guapa.
Que me tira, ¿eh? Para allá, coño. ¿Qué me vas a tirar? Vamos. Nada, que no. Para.
And you know, the Crimson Cookie, it's the same in a lot of us. You know, we're good, nice peoples. But the thing with good, nice peoples is we explode when we need to explode. And when good people explode, we explode greater than supernovas. And it fucks people up. And some people get excited about antagonizing each other to get this supernova effect. It's in human nature, provoking one another. Unfortunately, I don't like it, but I'm very good at it. Red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Somebody asked me if there's anywhere to go skinny dipping in and around here. Yep, a couple of kilometers behind me is a nudist beach. A few kilometers in front of me, there's nudist beaches. Our first day walking through this area, there was topless women all over the place. Now we're allowed to stand and walk around this parts, but we're not allowed on that beach there. Although there's people walking their dog on that beach, it says no dogs. There's signs there. Minimum of €100 up to €2,500. Now, if I was a millionaire, if I had a few thousand spare, I'd gladly take Grizzles on the beach every day and not give a fuck about paying the €3,000, €2,500. I wouldn't give a fuck about it. You know, it's like climbing trees. You want to climb these big trees around here? That would cost you £210 or euros. If I had a few hundred spare, I'd gladly climb these trees. No problem. The Crimson Cookie. This is he was born as a Grizzles. Yeah, I changed his name to Muck Grizzles. Yeah, and many times I called him a bleeding gobshite because he acted like a bleeding gobshite. Yeah, but nowadays he's the love of my life. And yes, his father was Japanese Akita, named Daddy Bear, and his mum was called Mummy Lola. Yep. I had the honours of knowing the whole family from start to finish. Well, I never seen his dad or his mum being born, but his mum was delivered to me, abandoned, abused, and abandoned on me. His father was delivered to me for a visit as soon as he arrived to the country, and when Grizzles was about a month old, it was the first time I met him. I never adopted him until he was nearly 2, yeah, or 1.5. Due to carers, they were caring for them, were abusing them. Well, actually, I adopted the Grizzles because the fella that was minding and caring for the people, the family of dogs, run my dog over. He was talking to the to Grizzles' family on the phone when he run my dog over, and the people were like adamant that I take Grizzles on. I always said, my lifestyle, I'm too poor for dogs this size. At the time, I had a little Shih Tzu, Captain Jack. He got done by a car. He went sniffing bitches in season back in February. He got done by a car. He was born to me. You know, I rescued his mother. Yeah. It's March the 12th, 2020. And Grizzles came into my family, like beside me. By October, November 2020, I'd rehomed 26 of his family members, kept back his mum, his dad, and his brother and half-brother. The fella that was looking after them, really, the original fella, he got bullied away from the mountain and bullied away from the dogs by a Norwegian fella. And that Norwegian fella was abusing the dogs And when I came up to the mountain to bring Grizzles and his brother Ted home, I came away with his mum and dad because they were really abused. They were locked up in the shed covered in ticks and fleas, whilst the fella's inbred dog was taking advantage of all the bitches around and being lord of the mountain. And that wasn't right by my standards. Daddy Bear was the boss of that mountain. That was his harem, you know, nothing to do with Boss Dog. That was the name of the fella's dog that took over the mountain, the Norwegian fella. That was the name of his dog, Boss Dog, oddly enough. We had a troll from day one with this channel, and his channel title was Boss Dog. He was a scumbag that kept blocking everybody. He was a scumbag that kept playing music on my channel. He was one of the first scumbags to admit that he was trolling me for the benefit of other people. A beautiful day. Welcome in, my dear. I tell you, my dear, I'm liking your quotes, your pictures. I'm liking them very much. Yep. Most days when I tune in and there's posts from you, and they seem to be very sentimental quotes you're posting. Absolutely beautiful. Now, a couple of years ago, I used to resent, well, when I first came to social medias like Facebook or anything like that, and people were using quotes from famous peoples or quotes from books and songs, it's like there was nothing creative about it. But with yourself, you're sharing a message with people that we both know, and it's a big message to a lot of people. Hola, hola, hi. Guapa. Amore, amore. Es normal para él. Muchas chicas gustan. Ayer para media hora y una dogo cantina. Sí. 20 minutos atrás, un chico con dos chicas, igual. Sí. No sabes, es guapo, but mucha attention. Wow, your eyes are beautiful. ¿Qué años?
3.
Wow, precioso. El 7.
7.
Sí. Sí.
Un poco loca. Pero es buena.
Es husky, es normal.
Husky con pastor belga.
Pastor.
Belga.
Oh, sí, Malinois.
Sí.
Wow, wow, wow. Es mucha energía. Wow. Tú eres guapa. Hola. Ay, ay, ay. Hola, guapa.
Despacio, despacio.
Vamos. Adiós. I loves it. Beautiful day. I loves it. To see Grizzle dancing with the ladies, I loves it. Like I said last night, he was dancing with a dog, a female, equal size, equal weight as himself. Dogo Canteen crossed with a Can Corso. Now, for anybody that knows me, yeah, I've shared this information many a time. The first dog I adopted, rescued here in Spain, was Can Corso cross Dogo Canteen. Whoa! I walked through this town with him, left Murcia with him, went back through Murcia with him, and yeah, to see a female version, I clocked her straight away, and wow! Fortunately for Grizzles and myself, we were able to interact with her and the owner for a good half an hour. Yeah. All four of us were over the moon, delighted. Okay, stream's over. My phone's about to shut down. I've had that final warning. 2%. So we thank you all for joining. Hola, guapas. Hot. Hi. Hola. Buenas tardes. Adios. They all loves him. People and dogs equally. Yeah. He gets a lot of attention. I'm not sure if I'm going to charge my phone up at the kebab shop tonight. But if I do, maybe I'll fire up another live. I sat there last night for an hour, I think, and I got about a 40-50% charge. So yeah, if I do that again tonight, who knows? Maybe I'll be in your chat if you're live. Doctor admissions. Oh yeah, yesterday went into shop specifically to get dog shit bags. Yeah. And found a really cool shop. The moon's not up yet. That's a shame. It'll be rising from that direction. We've got big storms expected for Thursday and Friday. So I probably should get my phone charged up some bit. At least then I'll be able to check if the storms have been cancelled. Or if it's getting bigger. Here we got a nice big lead, good and strong. It's actually 2 leads. Hold on. And yeah, this time of day we let him, in areas like this, we let himself take the lead. Sometimes he wants to walk against the trees, piss against every one of them trees. Tonight, he's curb crawling. I had that husky with the Malinois. Yeah, the Husky Cross Malinois. Beautiful blue eyes. Absolute stunning blue eyes. I thought she looked a bit skinny, a bit ribby. But, you know, like that's certain breeds of dogs. They look like that. You know. He gets called fat. Grizzles gets called fat a lot. They say, oh, he's fat. But in Spanish, so that's gordo. He's gordo. He's a fat boy. Hold on. When people look at me and we catch eyes, I've got a habit of saying hello to them. Not many of them say hello back to me. Not in this town. Oh, that little dog looks like one of yours, eh, Babette? Cool. Now, like I said earlier, cats are in season, dogs are in season, and yeah, so we have to be extra alert with our domesticated animals this time of year. That's why we get a lot of puppies at Christmas. I get upset with seeing a lot of these dogs in muzzles. Oh look, we were gonna sleep here last night. Yeah, I said I took my rucksack off. I pulled out a dog bag. I had a fucking dump, and then I changed my mind, and I thought, nah, it's too exposed. First thing in the morning, we're not gonna get a good sleep here. You know, I'm gonna have to pack up and move on in the morning. So I packed up or grabbed my bag, and we walked to the park. Not sure where we're going to sleep tonight. We'll see when it happens. So yeah, we get beautiful sunrises and sunsets around here. One of the attractions of sticking around for a bit. And I'm in a state of confusion. I don't know what to do or where to go. It's safer just to, you know, we're made welcome here. There doesn't seem to be any, hold on. There don't seem to be any junkies out on the streets. Not like there is in Alicante. Alicante's full of junkies on the streets. It was horrible. Enjoying the hunter's moon, full moon, super moon. It'll be up in the sky in about half an hour, I reckon. An hour tops. Well, hopefully it's not been stolen. Hear about the moon being sold so many times. And people with plans to do things to the moon. He's got one interest, the smells. What's going on? Head of Turtle, you're just coming in as I'm losing battery power. Alpha Process Tech. How's it going? Yep. My phone's about to shut down any second. I'm surprised how much it charged up earlier. You know, where we were sat. Yeah, it seemed to get a good charge for the hour that I put it out. Hope you had a good nap, Chef. And the rest of the day serves you well. There's that husky in cross with Malinois again. She's flirting with another dog. But they're not dancing. Yeah. She was dancing with Grizzle straight away. He hasn't smelt her or seen her yet. Broken glass. Oh dear. Hola. Oh, they barked at each other. Wow. That big black dog and the Malinois crossed with husky, they were barking as they departed. Wow. I think the black dog was a bit old. That's why he wasn't dancing with her. Hola, buenas tardes. I tell you what, this 2% is lasting long. And cheers, beautiful day. Babette, Chef, the Cosmic Cookie, Mr. Beautiful Blues, Travis. Oh dear, loads of people came in today. I haven't seen for a while. Lee Carrick, Kev, Kelly, Faces of YouTube, Quaver Be Raver. I didn't see any negative comments. That's cool. That's beautiful. Them fuckers knows better at this point. They don't have a voice here, and the people that do comes here sees through their crap. So leave them on their own channels where they talk shit behind people's backs. He didn't piss on that new dog sign.